Hello and welcome to Formosa Fauna. Which of the following has not been a victim of Taiwan's compression spring snares intended for wild boar? A. Taiwanese leopard cats. B. Formosan black bears. C. Humans. Or D. None of the above. The answer would be D, because all of the above have fallen victim to these traps. Keep listening to Formosa Fauna to find out why the heck they're still around. Every Friday is Formosa Fauna Friday. Hello and welcome to the show. Today we are joined by Dr. Chengheng Hu. We're going to call him Dr. Hu in the studio to talk about a massive issue plaguing Taiwanese conservation. Hello, Dr. Hu.
Hi, everyone.
Dr. Hu has an impressive background, even having worked to ensure the safety of wild buffalo and tourists in Chengheng, and now he works with Taiwan One Ecology Colation, TOEC. Reading straight from your bio, my work utilizes historic, ecological, and ethical perspectives on animal conservation. I think that will be relevant as we start our discussion. So let's start with the problem of these traps, these snares. And first of all, what are they? Could you explain for listeners what exactly we're talking about?
Okay, this kind of trap are majorly intended to capture all kinds of animal, no matter large animal and the small mammals. Even a small limbs can be caught seriously. So in the agricultural farmland, the wild boar snare indiscriminately trap all kinds of wildlife. So we used to use this kind of snare to control the farm pest.
Okay, so they look like basically almost like a set of dentures.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like two rows of teeth almost. And then once you or somebody steps and puts pressure on the middle, it snaps shut, right?
Right.
Okay, I think most of us have at least seen a trap like that in cartoons.
Yes.
Or some kind of TV. So we probably have a basic idea of what these traps are. So in general, what happens when an animal gets caught in one of the traps?
It leads directly to the tragic death of black bear, leopard cat, mangles, small rat, and even sambar deer. Sometimes we can see the stray dogs and the cat, trapped animal, suffering unnecessarily. So they will usually be very thirsty, they will lose their blood, they also feel hungry, and get severe dehydration. Most of the time, within 1 to 3 days, the wildlife of all the animals will die locally.
Okay. So in general, the way the traps are intended, some animal would come along, they would trigger the trap, their foot would get caught, and then these are very spiky traps, right? So their foot gets stuck.
Yeah.
And it probably immediately draws blood, probably digs into the flesh. And then if the animal were to struggle and try to get away, it would probably make it even worse.
Mm-hmm.
And then, honestly, I'm not too sure of the people who use these traps, how often they come checking if they've caught something. I would think that they just set the traps out and maybe don't check even every day, probably once every few days.
Yes,
And
almost
then-
once a week.
Okay. Wow. So an animal could really be stuck there for a whole week if they make it that long.
Mm.
Okay. And then as you mentioned, all kinds of animals have fallen victim to the wild boar snares. So that includes, just not just stray animals or the intended wild boars, but also a lot of protected and native animal species, including the Formosan black bear, the Taiwanese leopard cat, Which other ones?
Also including wild boar, even water buffalo, leopard, cat, or all kind of carnivore mammals.
Yeah. And these are not the intended targets
Yes.
of the snares. In fact, most of these, they're illegal to kill. Isn't that correct? With the Taiwanese leopard cats, you're not allowed to just hunt them.
Yeah, it's illegal to kill dogs, cats, and all kind of protected species.
I think we already touched on this, but I do have to ask, what has been the outcome for many of these animals? We did talk about the consequence being death for many of them because they're stuck there for multiple days. But what if they're found? Like the person who sets the trap realizes that it was a dog or a cat and they want to save the dog or the cat. How does that end up for the animals?
Yeah, according to the Animal Protection Act, we have to safeguard and save the life of dog and cat.
For some of the animals who have been caught by the traps and they have been found before they pass away,
Yes.
this often can also lead to them having their limbs amputated,
Yeah.
right? I know there is one picture that you have on the poster you brought today that is a very cute little cats, white cats, and both of their front legs are just gone because of the traps. That is so sad. And that is honestly the best outcome for getting caught in one of these traps.
Right. And we do have the legal process to control the dogs and the cat in the village, even in the agricultural farmland. But we cannot cruelly kill them in differences around the whole countryside. So in Taiwan, we can use this kind of snare legally to control the farm pest. But the government do need to control and manage the manufacture and the selling when the local products are allowed. But right now, you can see all kinds of these traps are totally sold everywhere through the internet and the local stores. Even though sometimes you can see Taobao Wang or the black market snare illegally sell into the local farm market. So the Nature Conservation Agency of the central government see this kind of commercial sales are totally not legal. So it should be totally controlled and regulated by the appropriate process.
Okay. To make it clear, just if you can, give me a yes or no answer for this. Is it legal to use these traps in Taiwan?
No, it's illegal.
Okay. Is it legal to sell them?
No, it's illegal.
And is it legal to purchase them?
It's kind of a very tricky
area?
questions. Yes or no. But you cannot purchase and use them to torture wildlife.
Okay. Oh, how do you define torture?
Right.
Right. So you did mention earlier while we were talking that this is kind of different for indigenous territory. So these traps in some parts of the country are you are able to use them? Question mark?
Yes. In the Aboriginal society, it's the traditional hunting device in the central mountain ridge. But under the modern invention of the mental snare, it's distorted and disuses trap right now, because we should use this kind of wildlife trap to control the agricultural loss. But now we have so many cruel commercial trap widely used and continuously harm various animals across Taiwan. So we try to argue with the MOA, the Nature Conservation Agency. it should be encourage the local traditional aborigines to use their traditional wisdom and the traditional device. That means the trap can be made by native plants and the vine and many kind of nature's things, rather than using all kind of exotic device like metal, iron wells, snare, and all kind of commercial stuff from the web.
Okay. To make it clear, to me as an outsider, I am not a Taiwanese person and I am not an indigenous Taiwanese person either. To me, it is a no-brainer that these should just be outlawed because it kills indiscriminately and it is hard to regulate. And anybody could just walk into one, including people. It is very dangerous.
Right.
So who is it that is saying that they should stick around and that they should be used or sold? And what is their argument?
Yeah, in this year, central government tried to adapt a legal process. In the mountain indigenous villages, if you have the traditional hunting society, which is made by the local Austronesian people, they can establish the Congress process to discuss the hunting season, hunting method, and the hunting routine. They have their tribal patrolling troop to working on the checking the trap. But instead of locally watching, there are many exotic outside hunter who are not local people, who are not the indigenous tribe, but they invade the traditional territory to hunt all kind of animal for the commercial purpose. So it's not allowed.
Okay. For commercial purposes too, I don't think that the purchase and sale of unregulated boar meat is legal, is it? There's a rampant industry chain of illegally poached wildlife meat products. So if somebody were to catch something and sell the slaughtered meat, it's not really...
I mean, the only purpose to legally use is the Aboriginal people. They can use for their themselves. They can use it in their family festival, but they cannot sell to the outside market.
Okay. And currently, do you know, maybe not an exact percentage, but is the majority of the people using the traps, do they belong to a non-indigenous group?
It's hard to say a percentage, but the most local indigenous people use locally in villages. So outside their villages, they are totally illegal.
Right. So then if we were to play devil's advocate here, what reasoning could we give to why, let's just say we are part of a group that really wants these traps and we want to use them. What is our argument? What is our reasoning behind that?
Yeah, if I am a farmer working in the countryside outside of the indigenous villages, I'm thinking I just want to control the pest. I just want to control the wild boar. But the wild boar is very hungry in the autumn and the winter season. So in that sense, we have to take some strategy to kill them. I know sometimes it's hard to catch and control them only. Most of the time, if we catch a wild boar, it's just directly cause their death immediately. But to many animal protection NGO, we try very hard to save their life, no matter wild boar or dogs or stray cat, because it's no need to hurt them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think just something I'm realizing now that is very, how do you say 矛盾 in English?
矛盾. One is...
contradictory. What I think is a little bit contradictory is in Taiwan, it is illegal to kill or euthanize healthy cats and dogs. So in a lot of countries, if there's a large stray population and those animals are brought in to shelters and they have too many animals on site, they will euthanize them because they don't have the space to care for them. And in Taiwan, I think around, was it 2017? That was outlawed. Yeah, it is now no longer legal to kill healthy cats and dogs. So they would have to be in a very bad state to legalize the euthanization of them. And yet, out in the forests, you have cats and dogs, stray populations just walking right into these traps, meeting, I would say, a worse death. Right?
Worse death.
Yeah. So it is kind of contradictory.
Yeah, it's very controversial. Exactly.
Pretending that we are farmers and our crops are being eaten by wild boar. Okay, that is not great, right? Because that's our livelihood, whatever. There were some new traps that were made and promoted by the Nature Conservation Agency. But this was basically just a smaller version of the original. So it would probably prevent maybe larger black bears, Formosan black bears, from stepping into them if their paws are big enough. But it's still going to trap, small baby Formosan black bears, cats, dogs. If it's big enough to catch a boar, it's big enough to catch the others, right? Oh, my goodness. And this essentially legitimized the existing misuse of the boar snares and encouraged illegal poaching, which is what I see you have in your notes here. Yeah. Any thoughts?
I think the new device can be more human device. It's also good for the animal welfare and also good for the hunting tradition of the indigenous people. But to our knowledge right now, this kind of new invent snare are just a smaller device again. So it will not capture the bigger black bear, but it still hurt or damage the smaller bear because the diameter of the mental snare is just about 12 centimeters. So in Taiwan, the governmental staff called 精准式猎具, the precise trap. But actually, it's not so precise.
It's not.
It's imperfect totally. It's an incomplete processing trap. So we need more local field check and inventory. We need more smart device control, and it's not just limited on the diameter per se. It's rather a step to use our knowledge and the society organization to help the wildlife and the stray dog and cats to healthily survive in our island.
Yeah. A Taiwan One Ecology Coalition spokesperson submitted a proposal for a comprehensive ban on the use of wild boar snares, but we won't get into that in this episode, so stick around for the next episode and we'll talk all about how that went and what the future of Taiwan's wild boar snares look like. Thank you so much for joining us, Dr. Hu, and thank you to all the listeners for tuning in.
Bye, thank you. Thanks a lot.
Do you have any thoughts regarding today's topic that you would like to share? Send an email to tristan@rti.org.tw. That is tristan@rti.org.tw. See you next time for Formosa Fauna Fridays here on Radio Taiwan International.